If you're finding that some of your locks are breaking off, then stay tuned for this video because I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why your locks are breaking. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to The Real ZB. I'm Zinhle and I use this platform to talk about my lock journey as well as share tips and tricks on how you can style and maintain your locks from the comfort of your own home. So there's one common thing that a lot of lock people deal with, and that is the problem of having your locks breaking off, either at the root or at the tip or somewhere in the middle. I think it's safe to say that a lot of us, if not the majority of us, have experienced our locks breaking off in one form or another. So I thought it was important to film this video so that we can find the problems before we find the solutions. So this is why I'm going to give you 5 common reasons why your locks may be breaking off. So let's get into it. So I am going to start with one that is the most normal. Because as your locks age and as your locks grow older in years, it is perfectly normal to experience some sort of thinning on the locks throughout the years. Now, this is a normal occurrence, but not everyone has to go through it, but a lot of people do. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong. It just simply means that your hair is going through its normal wear and tear. So I just needed to start off with that so that you are not alarmed at the first sight of seeing your hair thinning and breaking off, especially at the ends, because that is your oldest hair. So don't be alarmed, do not fret. Secondly, your locks could be breaking due to you not tying up your locks when you sleep. Now, if you remember from this video up here, locks literally get into everything, especially the longer and the older that your locks get. Imagine sleeping with your hair down and your hair is getting under your arm. If you have a partner, you'll find that your partner sometimes is rolling over onto your hair and then you're rolling over and it's just a hot mess. And through that hot mess and risky process, you might find 1 or 2 broken off locks on your bed. And that is simply something that could have been avoided by tying up your hair. So if you're someone who doesn't like to wear wraps or bonnets or scarves or anything that covers your hair because it's too hot or it's too inconvenient or whatever the case may be, then I strongly suggest that you invest in a satin pillowcase, okay? Now, I have found some really good satin pillowcases for about 70 Rand at Mr. Price Home. Literally, you don't have to buy the most expensive one. You can go out and buy just a normal satin pillowcase from Mr. Price Home and you can use that. You can also, if your hair tends to get dry when you leave it out, you can also invest in a good humidifier so that you're making sure that your hair is not losing as much moisture, as well as making sure that you're sleeping on a satin surface. So yeah, but you really have to make sure that you're tying up your hair when you're sleeping, especially the longer that it gets. Now, I know some people will discourage you from tying up your hair when you're sleeping because it may in the long term cause indentations, which is going to cause tension, which is then going to cause thinning. But literally use something that is going to be gentle on your hair, so such as a satin scrunchie, or use a bigger hair tie so that you can tie your hair up loosely. Just make sure that your hair is up when you're sleeping, okay? Now, the third thing that I'm going to talk about is something that I talk about a lot on this channel, and that is bleach. Now, I talk about bleach every time I talk about lock don'ts or lock no-nos or lock mistakes. And you may think I'm maybe exaggerating, but literally bleach has a long-lasting effect on your locks. And the bad thing about bleach is that you can't reverse the damage, okay? There are no solutions to help you, revive your hair once it's been bleached, okay? You just have to deal with the consequences. It goes with that saying that says you can choose your actions, but you can't choose the consequences. And bleach is a perfect example of that. So if you have not bleached your hair, because it is going to give you such problems, because literally what bleach does is it strips, as much as it strips the color out of your hair, but it also strips the hydration. It also strips the good nutrients that your hair needs in order to survive. So when it does that, it then makes your hair much weaker. It weakens your hair and it makes your hair frail, and eventually over time your hair will break. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next year. It may well be years down the line when you've even forgotten that you've ever bleached your hair. But one thing about bleach, it will come back to bite you. Okay, next, for those of you who love to style your hair, that is another way that you will end up breaking your hair. If you're one of those people who washes their hair wash style, especially those highly tight and high tension kind of styles, then you're actually going to make your hair weaker and weaker, which is going to lead to thinning, which is going to lead to breaking. And I know we are all busy and you probably don't have time to be dealing with your hair all the time, but literally your hair needs some time to breathe, okay? As much as your hair needs time to be maintained through a style, your hair also needs some off time. It needs some off seasons where you just don't do anything with it, okay? So try to have a week or two in between your styles. If you style this time, maybe don't style next time, and then wash your hair, leave it out, and then maybe at your next wash, then you'll put in a protective style or whatever style that you want to be doing. But one thing that you don't want to do if you want to prevent breaking is to overly style your hair. Okay, and the fifth one that I want to talk about is something that not a lot of people talk about, okay? And it's something that is very common, and that is health-related conditions, okay? So your hair might be breaking or thinning due to maybe postpartum shedding, maybe you're balding, maybe you've got a type of alopecia, maybe you have another scalp condition, maybe you're facing some serious mental health issues that are able to manifest physically through the breaking of your hair. There are so many variables and health conditions out there that manifest by having your hair either thinning or breaking, especially at your roots and your edges. So before you go out and you watch all the YouTube videos that are going to give you tips and tricks, before you go and ask your friends what they did about when their hair was falling off, just take a moment to consider whether you may be experiencing some kind of health condition. And to those, I would just advise you to seek professional help. You don't have to have all the answers, but by seeking professional help, you are then able to piece some of the pieces together in order to get the bigger picture as to why your hair is either falling out or breaking, or your locks are just not working out. So that is one thing that I'll strongly advise, is that you go out and seek professional help to see if you can't first rectify the medical condition before you rectify the cosmetic side of it. I know the list that I've given you is not exhaustive, so if you would like to see some more reasons why your locks are breaking and thinning, then go ahead and click on this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.